Ronaldo, Messi and Zlatan are warming up before an All-Stars football game. Ronaldo gets the ball and passes on to Zlatan. Zlatan then passes the ball to Messi, and then Messi passes the ball back to Zlatan, and many such passes are exchanged. Now it was pretty easy for me to explain this to you diagrammatically. But what if I wanted to explain this to a computer? The computer will not understand diagrams. So we make a small table on the right with 3 rows and 3 columns. We can have Ronaldo, Messi and Zlatan as rows. And to know who the ball was passed to, we have Ronaldo, Messi and Zlatan as columns. We all know what Zlatan is capable of, but let's assume the players can't pass the ball to themselves. So these 3 elements will be 0. There is one arrow going from R towards M, so we write a 1 here. And there's just one pass from Ronaldo to Zlatan. Similarly, we fill the rest of the slots. What we see here is nothing but a matrix. It is nothing but an array of elements, something which a computer can decode. And it summarizes the entire warm-up session. Adding up all the numbers here will give us the total number of passes, and it also tells us the direction of the passes. Don't you wish matrices were taught like this in school? 1, 3, -5 and 8. This is just a row of 4 numbers, and this can be represented in different ways. We can write it as an array of numbers horizontally like this, or we can write it as an array of numbers vertically like this. The first part, as you can see, has 1 row and 4 columns, and the second part has 4 rows and 1 column. There's another way in which we can write the 4 numbers. The first 2 numbers in the first row and the last 2 numbers in the second row. All these 3 things you see here are called matrices. Each of these is a matrix, just an arrangement of rows and columns. But how do we properly define it? We can say that a matrix is a rectangular arrangement. But a rectangular arrangement of what? It can be anything. Numbers, letters, other characters, anything. A matrix is made up of rows and columns. The first matrix has 1 row and 4 columns. The second one has 4 rows and 1 column. And what about the third one? It has 2 rows and 2 columns. So a matrix is just a rectangular arrangement of rows and columns. But there is one important condition we need to keep in mind. Each row needs to have equal number of elements. For instance, in the second matrix, each row has 1 element, and in the third matrix, each row has 2 elements. And each column also needs to have equal number of elements. In the first matrix, each column has 1 element. The second matrix has just 1 column, so it doesn't matter. And in the third one, each column has 2 elements. So a matrix is a rectangular arrangement of rows and columns in which each row has equal number of elements and each column as well has equal number of elements. So is this a matrix? Elements A and B in the first row and elements C and D in the second. It is a rectangular arrangement. Each row has 2 elements and each column has 2 elements. It is a matrix. And these 3 are also matrices. Okay, what about this one with 3 elements? Is it a matrix? The first row has 2 elements, but the second one just has 1 element. So it is not a matrix. What about this one with 5 elements? The number of elements in each of the columns is not the same. It's 2, 1 and 2, and this as well is not a matrix. So this is the definition. A rectangular arrangement of rows and columns in which each row should have equal number of elements and each column as well should have equal number of elements.
Hold me close till I get up. Time is barely on our side. I don't wanna waste what's left. The storms we chase are leading us, and love is all we'll ever trust. Yeah, no, I don't wanna waste what's left. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on
one of the most important matrices we will look at in the topic of matrices. What does identity mean? In mathematics, it means getting the same answer as the original number. Let me give you a couple of examples. What multiplied by 3 will give us 3? Yes, what multiplied by this number gives us the same number. It's 1. And 3 multiplied by what will give us 3? 1 again. Multiplying any number with 1 gives us that same number. The number 1 is called the multiplicative identity. No matter what number it is multiplied with, it will give us the same number. So you can probably guess what an identity matrix is. No matter which matrix it is multiplied with, it will give us the same matrix. A 2 by 2 identity matrix looks like this, and a 3 by 3 identity matrix looks like this. How can we define it? It is a square matrix which has all the elements in the leading diagonal as 1 and the rest of the elements as 0. Leading diagonal elements equal 1 and others are 0. Let's say we have a square matrix A. Matrix A multiplied by I will give us matrix A. Some matrix multiplied by I will give us that same matrix. Wait, we also know that matrices are non-commutative. A times I gives us A. But does I times A also give us A? Yes, I times A will also give us A. The identity matrix, when multiplied with any matrix, gives us that same matrix back. It is also called the unit matrix. Will this always work for any square matrix? If the order of the identity matrix is same as this one, then yes, it will always work. Let's look at a matrix on a new page. This is matrix A. We need to check if A multiplied by I gives us A. This is A, and as this is a 2 by 2 matrix, the identity matrix will also be 2 by 2. It will be 1, 0, 0, 1. We need to check if this product of two matrices gives us matrix A back. Is this product compatible? The order of both the matrices are 2 by 2. As the second and the third numbers are equal, this product is compatible. And the order of the resulting product will equal the first number by the fourth number. 2 by 2 again. So what will be the 1/1th element of the resulting matrix? First row times the first column. 1 multiplied by 1 plus 0 times 0. It will equal 1. For the 1/2th element, we multiply the first row with the second column. 1 multiplied by 0 plus 0 times 1. It will equal 0. The first two elements are the same as A. Let's find the remaining two. The 2/1th element will equal the second row multiplied by the first column. Minus 2 multiplied by 1 plus 3 times 0. We get minus 2. And the last element will be the product of the second row and the second column. Minus 2 multiplied by 0 plus 3 times 1. We get 3. That completes our matrix. And we see that the product AI gives us a matrix which is equal to matrix A. Matrix A multiplied by the identity matrix gave the matrix A back. Now we also need to check if I times A gives us matrix A. This is the identity matrix and this is matrix A. Pause the video and try to find the product. Both matrices are 2 by 2 matrices and hence this product is compatible. And the order of the resulting matrix will be 2 by 2. There will be 4 elements in the resulting matrix. The 1/1th element will be equal to the first row times the first column. 1 multiplied by 1 plus 0 times minus 2. It will equal 1. To find the 1/2th element, we multiply the first row with the second column. 1 multiplied by 0 plus 0 times 3. It will equal 0. The 2/1th element will equal the second row multiplied by the first column. 0 multiplied by 1 plus 1 times minus 2. We get minus 2 here. And the last element will be the product of the second row and the second column. 0 multiplied by 0 plus 1 times 3. We get 3. That completes our matrix, and we see that it is equal to matrix A as well. The orders of both matrices are the same and the corresponding elements are also equal. If I is the identity matrix, then both A times I and I times A will give us matrix A. Addition of two numbers is easy. 2 plus 4 is 6, 3 plus 9 is 12, and so on. But how are two matrices added? Before we move on to how they are added, we need to know one simple rule. Two matrices can be added only if they are of the same order. Yes, both matrices have to be of the same order for their addition to be possible. Now let me give you two matrices and you have to tell me if they can be added or not. The first matrix is 1 minus 2 in a row and the second one is 4 minus 7 in a column. Can these two matrices be added? Refer to this rule and answer this question. To know if they can be added, we need to look at their orders. The first matrix has one row and two columns. Its order will be 1 by 2. And the second matrix has two rows and one column. Its order will be 2 by 1. Are the orders same? No, they are not. This tells us that these two matrices cannot be added. Orders different cannot be added. Here's another example. Can these two matrices be added? Find the order of each and see if addition is possible. The first matrix has two rows and two columns. Its order will be 2 by 2. And the second matrix as well has two rows and two columns. Its order will also be 2 by 2. As the orders of both the matrices are the same, they can be added. This should always be our first step. Before we move on to addition, we should check if they can be added or not. Once we know that they can be added, we can perform the addition. So how do we add two matrices? We simply add the corresponding elements. What do we mean by corresponding elements? The corresponding elements are the elements which have the same positions. In these two matrices, 1 and 3 are corresponding elements. Both are the 1/1th elements. 4 and 2 are corresponding as both are 1/2th elements. 2 and minus 1 are corresponding and minus 6 and 4 are corresponding. Let's see how the addition of corresponding elements is done. We will have 1 plus 3 here. This is the 1/1th element of the final matrix we will get. What will be the 1/2th element? To get the element here, we add the 1/2th elements of the individual matrices. That will be 4 plus 2. In this position, we will add these two elements, 2 plus minus 1. And in this position, we will add these two elements, the 2/2th elements, minus 6 plus 4. We have just added the corresponding elements here. And what will this be equal to? 1 plus 3 is 4. 4 plus 2 is 6, 2 plus minus 1 is 1, and minus 6 plus 4 is minus 2. That completes the final matrix. This is the answer. To add these two matrices, we added the corresponding elements of the matrices. Also make sure you observe the order of the final matrix we got. 2 by 2. It will always be the same as the orders of the individual matrices. To summarize, first check if the matrices can be added using this rule. If yes, then add the corresponding elements of the individual matrices to get the final matrix. Understanding subtraction of matrices is very easy because it's pretty similar to addition of matrices. The rule to check if subtraction is possible is exactly the same as the rule for addition of matrices. two matrices can be subtracted only if they are of the same order. Yes, they have to be of the same order. If not, then subtraction is not possible. We'll understand this better with a couple of examples. The first matrix we have is 1, 4 in one row, and the second matrix we have is 2, 3 in one row. Is this subtraction possible? I am not asking you to subtract the two matrices. I am just asking you if it's possible to subtract this matrix from this one. To know if they can be subtracted, we need to know the order of each. Pause the video and find the orders. The first matrix has one row and two columns. Its order will be 1 by 2. And as the second matrix also has just one row and two columns, its order will also be 1 by 2. Because their order is the same, subtraction is possible here. The second matrix can be subtracted from the first one. But how do we subtract now? If we assume this to be A minus B, we need to subtract elements of B from the corresponding elements of A. 1 and 2 are corresponding elements. 4 and 3 are corresponding elements. What will be the elements of the resulting matrix then? The 1/1th element will be 1 minus 2. Element of A minus the corresponding element of B. And the 1/2th element will be 4 minus 3. Now we just find these two elements to get the resulting matrix. 1 minus 2 is minus 1. So we write minus 1 as the 1/1th element. 4 minus 3 is 1, which becomes the 1/2th element. This is our answer. Minus 1, 1. Notice that the order of the resulting matrix is also 1 by 2. The order of the resulting matrix will always be the same as the order of the two matrices in question. Let's look at one more question now. Subtract this matrix from this one. Try it out. To know if this matrix can be subtracted from this one, we first need to find the orders of each. The first matrix has 2 rows and 2 columns. Its order will be 2 by 2. And the second matrix has 2 rows and 1 column. Order will be 2 by 1. The orders are not the same, which means they cannot be subtracted. So remember, before performing the operation, check if they are compatible for subtraction. And only if they have the same orders, we move on to subtracting the elements of one matrix from the corresponding elements of the other. Can a matrix be multiplied with a number? Can this matrix be multiplied with, say, 3? Is this mathematically possible? Yes, it is possible. To get the resulting matrix, each element of the matrix is multiplied with this number. Let's see what the resulting matrix looks like. The order of the resulting matrix will be the same as the order of the original matrix. The original matrix is of the order 2 by 2. So the resulting matrix will also be of the same order. To get the 1/1th element of the resulting matrix, we multiply the 1/1th element of the original matrix by 3. We get 2 multiplied by 3. To get the 1/2th element of the resulting matrix, we multiply the 1/2th element of the original matrix by 3. The 1/2th element is 4, so we write 4 multiplied by 3 here. Now I want you to pause the video and find the elements in these two positions. We will have minus 5 multiplied by 3 here and 1 multiplied by 3 here. Finding each element is easy now. 2 times 3 is 6, 4 times 3 is 12, minus 5 times 3 is minus 15, and 1 multiplied by 3 is 3. This is the answer. 3 times this matrix gives us this matrix. This always works when a matrix is multiplied by a constant. If a matrix is multiplied by a constant k, then each of its elements are multiplied by k to get the resulting matrix. This is an important concept
and it's called the scalar multiplication. Multiplying a matrix with a number is called scalar multiplication. Can we find the negative of a given matrix? Let's say we have a 2 by 2 matrix Z. How do we find minus Z? Pause the video and think about how you can find the negative of matrix Z. It's easy if you were able to apply the concept we used. Minus Z can be written as minus 1 multiplied by Z. We are multiplying a matrix with a constant, and this is a classic case of scalar multiplication. It's equal to minus 1 multiplied by this matrix Z. Let's shift the camera a bit and write down the resulting matrix underneath. Each element will be multiplied with minus 1. 1 will be multiplied with minus 1, then 3 will be multiplied with minus 1, and the last two elements will also be multiplied with minus 1. Now we just need to solve the expressions in each of the positions to get the final matrix. 1 multiplied with minus 1 is minus 1. 3 times minus 1 is minus 3. Minus 5 multiplied with minus 1 is 5. And 2 times minus 1 is minus 2. If Z is this matrix, then negative of Z will be this matrix.